Hi students! Welcome back to another video lesson kung saan kayo ay tuturuan ko ng mahalagang konsepto na may kinalaman sa Grade 10 Science. This time, we are on second quarter, Module 3, and it is entitled Sci-Ed, Staying Connected in Education, New Normal Communication Essentials. This module mainly talks about non-ionizing radiation, namely radio waves, microwaves, and infrared radiation. Now, what is our most essential learning competency? In this module, we want to cite examples of practical applications of the different regions of electromagnetic waves, such as the use of radio waves in telecommunications. So, short review muna tayo. In the previous weeks, I have already discussed to you the electromagnetic spectrum. We know that the electromagnetic spectrum is composed of 7 electromagnetic waves. From left to right, we have electromagnetic waves with increasing energy and also increasing frequency. These are radio waves, microwaves, infrared, visible light, ultraviolet, X-rays, and gamma rays. On the left side, we call these non-ionizing, while on the right side, we call them ionizing radiation. Because of the differences in wavelength and frequency, these electromagnetic waves exhibit different behaviors, and these different behaviors make them suitable for a range of uses. Now, what are non-ionizing radiation? Non-ionizing radiation is a form of radiation with less energy than ionizing radiation. Since they have less energy, they also have lower frequency. Unlike ionizing radiation, non-ionizing radiation does not remove electrons from atoms or molecules of materials that include air, water, and living tissue. This means that non-ionizing radiation is a type of radiation that is less damaging compared to the ionizing radiation. This is the symbol for non-ionizing radiation. The other symbol that you can see on the screen, which is shown in circle, is the general symbol for all types of radiation. But for non-ionizing radiation, we have this. Now again, what are the types of non-ionizing radiation that we will be discussing today? First, we have radio waves. We also have microwaves, and we also have infrared. I am very sure that you have already known some of the applications of these three types of radiation. So let's start with radio waves. Radio waves have the longest wavelength but the lowest frequency among all the electromagnetic waves. They are produced by a vibrating electric current in an antenna and is ideal for communication. So dito pa lang po makikita po natin na there is a need for an antenna para makapag-produce ng radio waves. They are transmitted easily through air and they do not cause damage when absorbed by the human body. For radio waves, information can be sent using a transmitter and a receiver. So, kailangan merong isang, for example, cell site or isang antenna that serves as transmitter and isa pang antenna that will serve as receiver. Let's go to the applications. Of course, first of all, since we call these radio waves, the number one application would be a radio. And we have two types of radio. We have AM radio and we have FM radio. So, AM radio stands for amplitude modulation, while FM radio stands for frequency modulation. So ano ba yung mga example ng mga AM station na meron tayo dito sa ating bansa? So syempre kilalang kilala dyan yung DZMM, DZBB, Veritas, DZIQ. So ito yung mga usual na pinapakinggan nga daw ng mga matatanda or ng ating mga lolo at lola kasi ito yung mga usually dati na nagbibigay ng mga balita. Ngayon naman, more popular to you in your generation are the FM stations. So again, FM stands for frequency modulation. I'm sure you are already familiar with these examples. So we have 90.7 Love Radio, 91.5, 89.9. We also have Yes FM 101.1. So ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng mga number na yan? Kung babalikan po natin yung AM radio kanina, diba, we have 630, 594. So we have here kilohertz. So itong mga kilohertz na to, itong mga numbers na to, it stands for the frequency of that radio station. Now if you tune in your radio to a certain frequency, it will detect the waves, the radio waves coming from that station only. So, halimbawa, yung inyong radio ay tune in ninyo sa 1242. So, ang kanyang ma-detect ay yung DWBL. So, kapag iniba ninyo, iba rin yung kanyang ma-detect. Similarly, for FM station, kung kanina kilohertz, this one naman, it's megahertz. So, still, it's a hertz. So, it's still a unit for frequency. So 90.7 megahertz, 91.5 megahertz, 103.5 megahertz, and so on and so forth. Another application of radio waves is military communications. So kung familiar kayo sa mga gamit nila na radyo, yung parang walkie-talkie, so makikita natin na it has a long antenna. Again, if you remember a while ago, we said that we need an antenna for you to be able to transmit radio waves. So, that's an example of radio wave application. Kung naabutan nyo rin yung mga old cellphones, yung gawa pa ng mga Nokia, so malalaki masyado yung mga cellphone na yun, they have long antenna and you can't contact someone without actually pulling out that antenna. So, those types of cell phones still use radio waves. Another application would be low Earth orbit satellites. So what are low Earth orbit satellites? From the term itself, it says low Earth orbit. So meaning, itong mga satellite na ito, sila yung umiikot or pumapalibot sa Earth usually, okay, with just a very low altitude. Usually, with an altitude of 2,000 kilometers. Okay, mamaya kasi meron pa tayong isang klase ng satellite. So, itong klaseng satellite na ito, gumagamit siya ng radio waves kasi mababa pa siya. Kapag kasi sobrang taas na, ibang klaseng electromagnetic wave na dapat ang kanyang gagamitin. Next, of course, we also have televisions. So, diba may mga channel tayo na nai-scan sa ating mga television. So, yan ay application din ng radio waves. Let's move on with microwaves. So, what are microwaves? Microwaves have shorter wavelength than radio waves but has greater energy. Thus, they can penetrate the atmosphere. They are best used when broadcasting via satellite. They can also be used in cooking. So, applications. So, first of all, sabi nga natin, they can be used in cooking. So, microwave ovens use microwaves. So, hindi iniinit ng microwave ovens ang food by producing heat coming from the microwave oven going to the food. Okay, microwave ovens are able to heat food by making the molecules of that food vibrate. And then, since yung molecules ng food ay magwa-vibrate, it would have more kinetic energy, and therefore the food will have an increase in temperature. So that is the mechanism of a microwave oven. Also, you have cell phones. Okay, yung mga bagong cellphone natin, wala na po tayong mga antenna dyan. You may have the latest smartphone. So these use microwaves in order for you to be able to contact your friends or your family. Your Wi-Fi or internet connection is also an example of microwave. Even the Bluetooth, it is also microwave. And then we also have geostationary satellites. Contrary to low Earth orbit satellites, which we have discussed as an example of radio wave applications, geostationary satellites are usually moving at an altitude of around 35,000 kilometers above Earth. Ibig sabihin, mas malayo siya, mas mataas siya. And therefore, the waves coming from these satellites will still pass through the atmosphere. So, if radio waves are used for geostationary satellites, it is very prone to attenuation. Ibig sabihin, habang sa katagalan, pwedeng mag-bend, pwedeng mawala, pwedeng magkaroon ng absorption. So, therefore, we need microwaves for a geostationary satellite be able to transmit the broadcast. Halimbawa, live telecast yan. So, yung microwaves kasi, they have greater energy, so they can penetrate the atmosphere, particularly the ionosphere, and they can reach whatever target they have on Earth. Finally, infrared. So, infrared radiation consists of frequencies between microwaves and visible light. Infrared are the types of electromagnetic waves mostly associated with heat. Since the sun is the most abundant source of electromagnetic waves and the sun produces three types of EM waves, namely visible light, ultraviolet, and infrared, infrared would most likely be the heat coming from the sun. So what are the applications of infrared radiation? Okay, first of all, ito nakikita natin to sa mga airports or sa mga malls, lalo na ngayon in the time of COVID-19 pandemic, wherein it's very difficult to actually get the temperatures of each person going in or out of a certain place. So ito, a simple scan lang of people going in and out of, for example, a door, makikita na nila kung sino dyan yung mataas yung temperature. Yung blue color, ibig sabihin yan malamig. Yung red, ibig sabihin medyo mataas ang temperature. Also for this one, this is thermal imaging. Okay, nalalaman din dito yung mga heat signature na meron sa katawan ng tao. Usually, kapag nag-run ng thermal imaging sa katawan ng tao, kung ano man yung mga part na medyo nagkakaroon ng inflammation, ito yung may mas matataas na temperature. Yun yung lumalabas na may color na red. So dito sa thermal imaging na to, pwede nating malaman kung saan parte ng katawan ng tao merong possible na abnormality. And syempre, meron tayong remote controls. Our remote controls are able to change the channel of the television that you are watching. So, kahit malayo, gumagana si remote controls. That is also an application of infrared. So, that's all for today. I hope you liked my short discussion about the three types of non-ionizing radiation, namely radio waves, microwaves, and infrared. If you have questions, don't hesitate to post them on the comment box below. And please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. So that's all for today. See you next time. Bye!